Good morning all. Welcome back to next lecture. Today we will discuss the important application of linear equation in macroeconomics, that is national income determination. See, income determination model is typically refers to the analysis of factors that determine the level of national income or output. So within an economy, so it determines the level of national income. One of the most famous model in this regard, in macroeconomics, we have a Keynesian cross, or it is aggregate demand or aggregate supply model. See, actually, this model is focused on the relationship between aggregate demand and aggregate income, or it is the total spending and total output. So the model is actually start with the basic identity that the total spending in an economy, that is aggregate demand in the economy, should be equal to the aggregate income, or it is the total output. See, what are the various components of the aggregate output? We have a C plus I plus G plus NX. That means, see here we have the consumption, investment, government expenditure, and we have net export as well. So therefore, we can say that aggregate demand is equal to aggregate income as well, because the sum of consumption plus investment and government spending net export is equal to your total income. So aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply as well. See, we have a simple two-sector model. We are starting with a simple two-sector model in an economy. In a simple two-sector model, see, the economy is divided into two sectors. One is household sector and another one is producer sector or business sector. See, these two sectors are actually interaction between the household sector and business sector, and this interaction between sector resolve around the production and consumption of goods and services in an economy. See, in an household sector, see, this sector is actually represent consumers within an economy. And this household sector, on the supply of factors of production. They have the land, labor, capital and entrepreneurship they are providing to the business sector. And in return, the household will receive the factor payment. In return, they will get the factor payment. Similarly, the business sector, see, this sector comprised of the firm, they produce the goods and services. They are the business or firm, they produce the goods and services. The firm utilize the factors of production provided by the household sector and they produce the goods and services. And firm use these resources and produce the goods and services and exchanging with the household. In return, the resources are transferred or consumer expenditure will be transferred to the producer sector. So here the simple two-sector model help to illustrate the fundamental economic relationship between household and business in an economy. See, the income can be utilized for two purposes. One is the consumption purpose and another one is saving purpose. So here we have consumption plus saving. See, if you have the consumption function is given, see, this is the consumption function which is equal to 0.8y plus 20. It is the autonomous consumption. And 0.8 is the nothing but it is the MPC, that is marginal propensity to consume, which is the function of y. See, from the given consumption function, we can find the saving function as well. If you substitute these values here, then we know C is equal to 0.8y plus 20 plus S, that is saving. So y is equal to 0.8y plus 20 plus saving. Then I am taking this particular term into the left hand side of the equation. So it will become minus 0.8y minus 20, which is equal to S, that is saving. So here y is common here. So I am taking it is outside. So then 1 minus 0.8 minus 20, which is equal to S. So y is equal to 1 minus 8, which is equal to 2y, which is minus 20. So this is the saving function, 0.2y minus 20. So saving function here, it is showing that here the 0.2 is nothing but it is marginal propensity to save. Okay. So in this way we can derive the saving function. Now let us consider the one simple two-sector model by using mathematical equations. See, y is equal to c plus I, and c here it is given, that is c0 plus by, I is equal to I0, that is investment. So here C0 in the given consumption function, C0 is the autonomous consumption, which is independent of the level of income. Then we have by, that is marginal propensity to consume, that is MPC. This is MPC. So it represents that the fraction of additional income that individual will allocate for the consumption purpose. In other words, we can say that it is how much consumption will be changed in response to change in level of income. And see, y is nothing but it is the level of income. So consumption function is expressed here. It is the autonomous consumption plus then MPC into the level of income. Now we can substitute C and I on the level of income equation. So y is equal to, instead of C, I am substituting it is C0 plus by plus I0. I0, which is I is equal to I0. Now taking by term into the left hand side of the equation, see y minus by, which is equal to C0 plus I0. And then here, see y is common term, so I am taking it into the outside here. See y into 1 minus b, which is equal to C0 plus I0. Then y is equal to, it is 1 upon 1 minus b, C0 plus I0. See, what is 1 minus 1 upon b, which is nothing but it is actually multiplier. I will explain to you. Then multiplying C0 plus I0 here, then income will become, that is your total income y is equal to C0 plus I0 divided by 1 minus b. See, this is known as reduced form of the equation or equilibrium level of income, and in a two-sector model. So it expresses the equilibrium level of income explicitly as a function of exogenous variable and parameter. See here, y is the endogenous variable, which is the function of, or which is determined by, in the model by using exogenous variable. Here are C0 and I0, which is the exogenous variable, and 1 minus b, or it is b. B is nothing but it is the parameter, which is generally known as it is marginal propensity to consume. See, this 1 by 1 minus b, it is considered as a multiplier. It is considered as a multiplier. It indicates that change in autonomous spending, that is consumption or investment, will have a multiple effect in the equilibrium level of income. So if MPC, that is b, is larger value, then multiplier will be very high. Now we are going to consider one example. See, C is equal to 100 minus 0.75 y, and I is equal to, investment is also given, that is 1000. See here, we want to calculate the equilibrium level of national income and what would be the consumption expenditure at equilibrium level of national income. See here, what are the information given? See, consumption function is given, that is 100 plus 0.75 y. And the investment is also given, that is 100. And our two-sector model, which is equal to y is equal to c plus I. Now we are going to substitute here c and I on this particular equation. It will become, see, y is equal to 100 plus 0.75 y plus I, which is 1000. So now here the y term I am going to take into the left hand side of the equation. So it will become y minus 0.75 y, which is equal to 100 plus 1000. So here y term is common, so I am taking y term into the outside. So y into 1 minus 0.75, which is equal to 1100. So 1 minus 0.75, which is equal to 0.25 y, is equal to 1100. Dividing both sides of the equation by 0.25, then we will get y is equal to 4400. So this is the equilibrium level of income. This is the equilibrium level of income. Now see, what is the level of consumption? If the level of income is equal to 4400, then we are substituting this value on the consumption function here. So it will become C is equal to 100 plus 0.75 into 4400. If you go for simplifying it, then it is 100 plus 0.75 into 4400, which is equal to 3300. So 100 plus 3300, which is equal to 3400. So your consumption will be 34 at the equilibrium level of national income. Now another question, see, suppose the consumption of an economy is given by C is equal to 20 plus 0.6y and the investment is also given, that is 10 plus 0.2y. See, here investment is also the function of level of income, which is generally known as it is induced consumption. If investment is depending upon the level of income, then that investment is known as it is induced investment. That means it is entirely depending upon the level of income. If it is not depending upon the level of income, then it is generally known as it is autonomous investment. But here it is also, the investment is also the function of income. So we want to find out here the equilibrium level of national income, then consumption and investment as well. So we know y is equal to c plus I, c is given here and I is also given. So we are going to substitute c and I on the equation y is equal to c plus I. Then it will become c y is equal to 20 plus 0.6y plus 10 plus 0.2y. So here y term I am going to take into the left hand side of the equation. So it will become y minus 0.6y minus 0.2y, which is equal to 20 plus 10. So here see, in three terms we have y is common. So I am taking y into the outside. See what is remaining here, it is 1 minus 0.6 minus 0.2, which is equal to 20 plus 10, which is 30. So 1 minus 0.6 minus 0.2, which is equal to 0.2y is equal to 30. Dividing the both side of the equation by using 0.2, then y is equal to 150. And what y is showing here, it is the equilibrium level of national income. Now, see, after finding the equilibrium level of national income, we also want to find out the level of consumption. See, consumption function is given here, it is 20 plus 0.6y. We are substituting instead of y as 150. So it will become c is equal to 20 plus 0.6 into 150, which is equal to 110. So this is the consumption when the level of income in equilibrium, that is 150. And we also want to find out the level of investment. See, investment function is given, that is 10 plus 0.2y. So instead of y, here I am substituting y is equal to 150. So I is equal to 100 plus 0.2 into 150, which is equal to, if you go for solving it, then you will get I is equal to 40. So y is equal to your y 150, which is equal to consumption plus investment. So 100 plus 40, which is again equal to 150. Now let us consider, we have a Keynesian multiplier which explains the relationship between changes in the level of income when there is a changes in the investment. So we are going to consider here it is investment multiplier. So we are going to starting with the model, that is y is equal to c plus I, and then delta y, change in income also we are going to consider. If you go for changing your level of income, then your consumption is also going to change, your investment is also going to change. So delta y we are composed it into two parts, that is delta c plus delta I. What is c? C is equal to a plus by, which is already explained. If you go for take the delta c, then delta c will become, see, it is delta c is equal to constant term will become 0, then it is b into delta y. What is showing? By taking the change in consumption, it is the function of delta y multiplied by the marginal propensity to consume. So we are going to substitute here the delta c here on this particular equation. So delta y is equal to delta c plus delta I. So instead of delta c, I am substituting it is b into delta y plus delta I. So here y term is here also and left side also. So I am taking b delta y into the left hand side of the equation. So it is delta y minus b delta y, which is equal to delta I. So here delta y is common. So I am taking delta y into the outside. So it will become y 1 minus b, which is equal to delta I. Minus 1 minus b into the right hand side of the equation. So it will become 1 by 1 minus B into delta I. See here what it is showing. See here, change in income due to change in investment with a multiplier effect. So 1 by 1 minus B is nothing but it is a multiplier. I into the left hand side of the equation, it will goes to the denominator side. So it will be delta Y divided by delta I. See, it is showing K in terms of representing in terms of K, which is nothing but it is the investment multiplier. See what actually investment multiplier showing that changing level of income due to changing level of investment, which is multiplier, which is 1 by 1 minus B. So this 1 by 1 minus B is showing the overall impact of initial changes in the investment on the aggregate output or the aggregate level of income. Or we can also say that change in equilibrium level of income due to changing the level of investment. Okay. Now, see 1 by 1 minus B, we can write B is nothing but it is MPC, marginal propensity to consume. So I am writing here instead of B, I am writing here 1 by 1 minus MPC. See 1 by 1 minus MPC is nothing but it is MPS. It is MPS because MPC plus MPS is equal to 1. So it is also we can write it is 1 by MPS. So we can rewrite by taking delta I into the right hand side of the equation. So here it is delta Y, change in income, which is equal to 1 by MPS into delta I. Now we can take some example, numerical example. Suppose the consumption is equal to 50 plus 0.75 Y and the level of investment is equal to 30. We want to find out the level of equilibrium level of national income. And what is the size of investment multiplier? Suppose if the investment is increased by 20, then what is the level of change in income? So this is our question. And suppose we want to find out the answer for this particular question. So here consumption function is given, that is 50 plus 0.75 Y. I is also given, that is equal to 30, that is investment is equal to 30. Then Y is equal to, it is C plus I. Now I am going to substitute here. See, Y is equal to 50 plus 0.75 Y plus 30. So Y term I am going to take into the left hand side of the equation. So it will become minus 0.75 Y. So Y term is common here. So I am taking into the outside 1 minus 0.75, which is equal to 80. 1 minus 0.75 is equal to 0.25 Y, which is equal to 80. Then dividing the both side of the equation by using 0.25, then Y is equal to 320. Now this is the equilibrium level of income. Now the second question is that what is the investment multiplier? You know the investment multiplier which we are already derived here, that is 1 by 1 minus B, which is 1 by 1 minus MPC. So what is MPC here? See, in the given consumption function it is already mentioned. The MPC is equal to 0.75. So we are going to substitute B is equal to 0.75 so that we will get an investment multiplier. So investment multiplier is equal to 1 by 1 minus 0.75. So 1 by 1 minus 0.75, which is equal to 1 by 0.25, which is equal to 4. So here the investment multiplier, that is size of investment multiplier, is equal to 4. Now see, if the investment is increased by 20, that is if delta I is equal to 20, then what will be the changes in the level of income? See, suppose the investment is increased by 20, then the delta Y, as per our previous equation, delta Y is equal to 1 by 1 minus B into delta I. So delta I, which is already given, which is 20, 1 by 1 minus B, which we are already calculated here, it is 4. So it is, we can write delta Y, which is K, that is multiplier, into delta I. K is already calculated here, it is 4, and delta I is equal to 20. So it is 4 into 20, which is equal to 80. So if you are going to increase the investment by 20 units or 20 crores, then your level of income will increase by 80 crores. Now consider another question. See, if the MPS is 0.2, marginal propensity to save is equal to 0.2, and the investment is increased by 200 crore, what is the increasing in the level of income? See, if we have the MPS is given, MPC is not given. So we want to find out the how much will be the level of increasing income if investment is increased by 200 crore. So we know delta Y divided by delta I is equal to K, which is equal to 1 by 1 minus B, which is MPC. See, 1 by 1 minus B, 1 by 1 minus MPC, or 1 minus MPC is equal to MPS. So we can rewrite it is 1 by 1 minus MPC. We can write it is 1 by MPS. It is MPS. So consider here delta Y divided by delta I, 1 by MPS. So here I am taking the delta Y into the right hand side of the equation. It will become, see, 1 by MPS into delta I. This particular equation actually showing how much changes in the level of income is happened when your level of investment is going to increase. So we have a question here also. If the investment is increased by 200 crore, then what will be the level of changes in income with the given MPS? So we can substitute here the values. Delta Y is equal to 1 by MPS. See, 1 by MPS, which is equal to 0.2 into delta I, which is equal to 200. So if you simplify it, then 200 divided by 0.2, which is equal to 1000. So your changing level of income will be 1000. Changing your level of income will be equal to 1000. So if you are going to increase the level of investment by 200 crore, then your level of income will be increased by 1000 crore, because your multiplier, see, it is 1 by 1 by 2, which is equal to 5. So multiplier is very high here. Now we have another question. See, given that MPC is equal to 0.75 and increasing your 100 crore to 150 crore, and we want to find out the value of multiplier and increasing income. How much increasing income is happening? See, what are the information which is given here? MPC is given, which is equal to 0.75. Then increased the investment from 100 to 150. So we can calculate the investment multiplier here. It is delta Y by delta I, that is investment multiplier is equal to 1 by 1 minus MPS, which we are already derived. See here, we can say that this is multiplier, investment multiplier, how much change in Y due to change in investment. So multiplier can be 1 by 1 minus MPC. So here MPC is equal to 0.75. So with 0.75, because MPC is already given, which is equal to 0.75. So multiplier will be equal to 1 by 1 minus 0.75 will become 0.25. So 1 by 0.25, which is equal to 4. So the size of multiplier is equal to here 4. Now see the second part of the question. See, investment is increases from 100 crore to 150. So how much increase is happened here? 150 minus 100. So the change in income, change in investment is here. It is only 50. So we are using this particular equation by taking delta I into the right hand side of the equation, so that we can capture how much change in income is happening. So delta Y is actually showing how much changes in the level of income due to changes in the level of investment. So here delta Y is equal to, see, it is 1 by 1 minus MPC, which we are already calculated here. It is 4. So multiplier is equal to 4 into delta I. Delta I we can capture, it is changes. See, investment is increases from 100 to 150. So increase, how much increase is happening? 150 minus 100. So here delta Y is equal to 4 into 150 minus 100, which is equal to 50. So your delta Y is equal to 4 into 50, which is equal to 200 crore. So if your investment is increases from 100 crore to 150 crore, then your level of income will be increased to 200 crore with given the marginal propensity to consume, which is equal to 0.75. See, let me conclude here. Today we have discussed what actually mean by the two-sector model, and we have also derived a mathematical derivation of income determination model. I hope it was clear to you, and in the next lecture we will discuss what happened if the tax system is going to introduce, if it is lump sum tax and if it is proportional tax, what type of effect will be happen to the level of income, that we will discuss in the next lecture and we will see in the next lecture. Thank you.